Welcome to episode 3, the confrontation of the uncomfortable. This is a warning to you who cannot take the truth that this is gonna be a red pill episode. So you have been warned. Now we continue where we left off. We left off at the Boba Air stuff, and it is still just continuing. Today is 18th of December, and it is 9:05, and the cow is just doing what the cow has always been doing, eating grass, and then we humans and I think every human that have a little bit common sense is have the same opinion here, that the cow has never been the problem, that it is more our humans that are destroying and raping the earth from its natural resources, and then making a lot of pollutions by just consumption, and this consumption, it seems not to be stopping. It seems to be that we are only using more and buying more and using more and buying more. We are just increasing our energy per human, and we are actually not anymore that part of the an ecological system. We come to that in a moment, but let's look at what the media is sort of telling, that there is some discussions on platforms on the internet that about Boba Air, and so the institutions and media is not really honest here, but how can they be when they have their head so deep down in the sand? So we have to just forgive and try to explain it in a simple, common sense manner, and well, maybe this is the best way to explain it. So we can see that agriculture is not who get greenhouse gas emission. This is calculated, all of total energy supply is 27, transport is 23, and industry is 20, so we combined these are 70. So here is more the problem, and we cannot blame the cows here, and to just go ahead and experiment with cows and with people in this way, that you change the way of the cow stomach that has been working for thousands of years, and then you play a little bit, you get into God mode, and then you play a little bit, but you are playing us all, and we did not ask for this, and we don't want to be a part of this experiment. That is it. And this is why we should boycott these companies that are in on this, and also the institutions that are doing this, because this is completely crazy, and animal cruelty, and this is all the things that evil represents. Basically. So by poisoning the cows we accomplish nothing. What I calculated here is that if we calculate that the cow methane emissions are like 5%, but I think it's much more lower. And then we don't even consider the good that comes from the cow, that we get fertilizer for the best fertilizer there is to grow more stuff, to grow food for the cow. This is like the cow is in the ecosystem here. The cow is not the problem. Now what they are doing is they are trying to destroy the animal the production of the what is it called, to have the to have animals and provide for animals, and then they give you something in response. They, like, we have been having this mutual friendship with animals for thousands of years, and now these cowards, I would say, they are trying to destroy this relationship, and this is not only by this poison that they want us to feed to the cattle. It is also in other ways. They are wanting to reduce the meat production. Clearly, this is what they want to do, and my notes are a little bit sickin sockin, but yes, here we can see here is from the Ruokavirasto. It's the Finnish Food Authority, which is just an extension of the EU. So they get their most funding from EU, and here they are saying that, we can see if it is in English. No, it's not. But they are saying that they are trying to reduce meat and salt. So, like, they have clearly an agenda here. So this is not good if you are a farmer and you produce meat, because our state say that they are gonna make reduction, but this is nothing what has been going on in Finland for many years. In agriculture in Finland. Yes, it was here. So this is what has been taking place. So 1,400 farmers have quit this year only. This year. Just this year. But in what was it, since 1995, when Finland joined the EU, we had 100,000 farms, and 2015 it was down to 51,000. So in 20 years the farms reduce in half size. And if you read this, they just say that it doesn't bother them that someone else has taken over the fields. And here is another. So this is maaseudun tulevaisuus. It is like the farmer go to news site or news, and here they say that every third has quit farming in 13 years. Every third in Finland. So this cannot be good. Like, how can we say that how can we say that when farmers quit that it is a good thing, like and then we have even fewer people in the fields, and how can fewer people see that we make better food, like better quality food, and in a sustainable way? This is just not going. There is no common sense in this. That you would think that everything will suffer here, like the quality and everything in food production will suffer if there are less farms, because there are less people to take care of that we are actually doing it in a friendly way to the ecosystem and to us as humans. So, but we have sort of been in this loop of doing food production in a way that it has actually never been sustainable since since we started to use tractors and fossil fuels to do it, this synthetical fertilizers and these kind of things. So still in Finland we have like there is no big organic production of food. It is only something like 10% of the farms are doing it in but that is like also what I want to a little bit take upon this, because the thing is that you cannot solve problems by creating basically a mafia. Like you will only maybe worsen the problem. Like, and this is basically what has been done in Finland, that there is this organic mafia, luomu, that they, of course, they want you to produce better and more sustainable foods, but then you have to be sort of in this mafia and you have to pay them, and then they will come and do these checkings that you are doing it the right way. But like how can some control mafia, how can they be the expert in these fields? They cannot be an expert in all these fields. That is why this kind of mafia will never succeed. So it will only create this kind of finer premium food for the rich, and it will actually not make any solution for the actual problem where we want more sustainable food. So by creating this food mafia, then you actually make it even worse, the problem. And I have been talking with a lot of farmers that are doing it the right way, but they don't want to pay this mafia to get the certificate. And so it is just creating more like a I don't know, like let's see this statistic. 15% is it 2023. And because this is food production and the whole thing is really the most manipulating business maybe there is, because no farmer is surviving on the what they sell. So they have to sell at a specific market price, so the prices are manipulated, and then the farmers need to apply for support money So they will have to do a lot of paperwork all the time to be able to farm. So that is basically telling us that we don't like the EU is not good in that sense that we create this, we are a part of this bigger food mafia that then sort of controlling who gets the money for farming and who doesn't. So they can decide, and then they can the elite that is running the show can just decide somewhere long away from here what is good or bad for us, but we here we know what is good and bad. How can somebody far away know what is good and bad for us here? They cannot. So here you can see that the funding for Finland only from 2021 to 2027 was 95.5 billion euros for agriculture support. Okay, it might include some other countries also. But why has organic farming, it has not been a success, it has failed. Because if it started already maybe 15-20 years ago and still it has not taken, we are still doing mostly conventional farming. But what is organic farming? This is a little bit controversial, because actually organic farming doesn't mean anything really. It means a little bit, no, you cannot use some poison, or you cannot use some synthetic fertilizers, but then again you can use some. Now, like, so it is actually not solving any real deep problems we are going to face here on planet Earth, we humans. And that, by that I mean living a good life for the surroundings, for the ecological systems. And this is what we should be more talking about, not so much blaming the farmers and putting everything on them, because we can see that it is only 10%, a little bit 11. So crazy to be blaming the farmers. But this is gonna a little bit go like a hand in a glove with what I'm just about to take upon. But so we are facing these problems that we are poisoning the planet, and we are desperately wanting to solve the problem, and they are trying it to do it in these institutions and companies and organizations, but when you look what they are actually doing, they are not then actually solving any problem. They are just even making more products and more consumerism and actually making energy use even more and more transport and more industry. Like if we cannot talk about so much about technological solutions to a problem that has to do with nature. Like we need to find natural solutions to natural problems. So it is not so much about investing in new technologies. That is actually gonna just make another more consumerism thing. So it is actually hurting us more. What we should do is just stop consumerism and not try to solve our problems with technologies, but actually starting to understand how nature takes care of things, and then we copy nature, the solutions that are already working for millions of years, and then we just do them instead of trying to somehow play God and invent the wheel again, because the wheel is already invented and it is here, and that is the beauty of nature. It is it is a very intelligent design, nature, and it is a broad and very many systems, complex systems working together with other complex systems. So when we want to sort of solve all by going into a laboratory and then take a component from here and from there and then studying them and see, there is absolutely no wrong in doing this, and we should do it, but how much are we focusing on just this? We are focusing just too much on different components, and what we should think about the whole systems. So because nature is so complex that we can never even fully understand it, and there is no one right, how to say, one right sort of to explain it all. One this we can always understand a little bit more and more and more. But what kind of future is it that we want? And here I very much know that when we get to try things like being out in nature and then when we get so far that we are interested in how it works and we learn about the complexity and how to get plants to grow the best, then we sort of start to see where we humans are like what is our responsibilities and so on. But what kind of future is it that we want to have? Is it like I think that we have so much love for the natural world that it is the only thing we actually have. It is and if we can somehow see the beauty of the whole system and where we can step in and do our part. Because I think that what we are facing here as a society is we are not trusting our institutions and government, and this is for a very good reason and we should not. But then what should we do? What should we do and who should we trust? And here is, I think, the best if we have some other thing that we can put our trust in, that we don't get beaten up by this and sort of go on to hide under a rock, but rather to speak up about common sense and what we can do. Everyone can do something, and but this is also like this is also sort of destroying the this is sort of destroying the idea of some kind of green way of living in a city, because this is completely a false idea. You cannot be green in a city. Everything is just transported there, and you are locked into be just a consumer, and you can never have some abundance, real self grown food and experience the experience, you cannot experience being a part of an ecological system if you are living in a place that is ecological. Then you are not actually solving anything, and you have to do the actions what you speak. This is just some examples of gardens, and this is this is the asparagus, I think. But so here we can see that in these gardens that a lot of different plants they grow really well together, and you can have this kind of perennial plants that you can also use for food and other things. Then you start to build some true value. Then you are not part of this consumer. You take some action and you start something real. Self abundance. So there is really everything else is pretty much hypocrite. So I started by planting chilies, and then it took maybe I had chili plants for many years before I started some kind of garden. But when I started, I didn't know almost anything about it. So I just started reading and watching a lot of videos on how to do it. But it took me a couple of years before I truly found what is missing, I think. What is missing in the Western world. Like we have put our we are put our responsibilities away and say that somebody else take care of our responsibilities, and then we get this production that sort of is very energy that is wasting a lot of energy. Then we get this wasteful way of living when we are not taking our own responsibilities. That we just say that it is put here in the rule, so I am doing it good. But even if it is completely like false and it's not for a good cause, if it's somehow accepted in the book, then it is okay. And then we get to a situation where nobody is really taking any responsibilities at all anymore, and it is just put onward and onward, up somewhere in some commission somewhere. And then we end up with a situation where we are. That we are not we are not very connected to nature, and we don't know so much about natural systems. So I was gonna maybe talk about a little bit the native people here in Finland, because it is very I feel very angry at what they are trying to do now, and I don't know what will stop this from going through, because they are putting so much effort on making some kind of new food, some like we are gonna eat some kind of mycoprotein. They have put millions and millions in on these new kind of companies, and then they are blaming the meat industry. This is very sad to see. And then when we know that we in Finland, we are people that have been we have been living with animals and in sort of good relationship and mutual respect. For example, the Sami people, they have used reindeer, and still they live on reindeer, and the reindeer live on the Sami people. So like, this is sickening to me that some people think that this is some kind of a disaster for animals or for the planet, when it's pretty much vice versa. So what could be the solution, and what could be the future? Now I was talking a little bit about my own garden thing, and I came to this one mind-bending, mind-opening way of thinking about gardening, and or like whole holistic way of thinking about life in general. So it is this permanent culture by this two Australians, Bill Mollison and it was Bill Mollison who he has written this book, a designer's manual, and it totally blew my mind. So if you find this book somewhere, take a look. It is about how we can use natural systems to make the work for us. So how to like this, basically it's a combination of systems, a garden or a forest. And if we understand it, we can then do small enhancements here and there and get a lot of result. But then we need to actually really understand what is happening with all organism and mycelia and everything that is going on in the soil. But we know a lot already, and this is very cool. And here is like the future of science to like understand complex natural systems. So we are finding out very cool stuff, and that different kind of mycelia is exchanging different kinds of minerals to plants, and that they are that trees are connecting with each other through root systems, and they are also giving others minerals and water, and so we are starting to understand. But when we start to understand this, then pretty soon we come to this conclusion that we are not living in a like most of the Western civilization is not in the circle of life, because it is this that we are living. We may produce, we mine chemical fertilizer and produce them, put a lot of energy in production and transport, and then we grow food with that. It is destroying the fields and also other water systems, and then we eat that food and we poop in clean water, which make the problem even worse. Then we have even more waste when the poop goes into water system, and then we just have a lot of waste and pollution. Okay, we are trying to clean. We are sending this to our like some kind of cleaning, where they clean this pollution, and there are a lot of different kind of thing there. And well, how well do you think we can clean it? Well, not very well at all, I have to say. And because like there is in where I live in Lovisa, near the sea, there is this shit cleaning facilities, and I read a little bit the report from them, and here they say that they cannot sometimes take in all the stuff, so they just, it goes directly just to the sea, just all the shit and poison and whatever chemicals has been put in there. So nobody is taking any responsibilities really, and what they are planning only to make this more natural friendly is just to have the sewer system, the pipe with the waste, put a little bit farther out in the sea. So I don't know what you think about this, but and then we can see that they are using 3,977 kilowatt an hour per day. That is a lot of power, energy to sort of try to fix something that is broken, that you cannot fix anymore. Like there is a very, very simple solution to this problem, but we are making the problem we are making it a big problem when we have this waste system that it is not connected to ecological systems. It is just producing a lot of waste, and it is using a lot of energy. And this is the book if you want to read about how to live in a really in ecological system. So you are a part of something bigger here, and some common sense. And this is a very good book. I would recommend this. I have read it many times. And basically it is about invisible beings, about microscopic organisms that are living in our gut, and also the same kind of bacteria is in these very hot geysers. So these hot wells that are in Iceland, and they are supposedly one of the oldest organisms around. Thermopiles they are called, and that is the best resource in your soil if you want to grow something, to have them thermopiles break it down, and then you will have absolutely the best soil there is. So when we get rid of one misstep, like one huge issue that we have, then we find actually that we can use that as an opportunity for something good. Like in this book, Joseph Jenkins, he writes about how, and he goes deep into the process of composting, and how fast, if you have this microorganism there, that they are in our gut. So when you actually, there is no better there is actually, if you don't have any poop there, gut bacteria in the compost, it will not be good as good soil. So this is the thing, like we see that we are designed to be a part of this bigger system. We are not, we are basically, we are sort of in the matrix, that and all that we are sort of talking about, the institutions and politicians about green stuff, how to be more green. They have never been talking about anything about these common sense things like this, and also about the best way of starting to have some abundance with food, that you can start to build a food forest that is just producing every year without you even doing any work, just producing your food. So there is absolutely no talk about this in the institutions and organizations in Finland right now. And I did a search, like the Luke, which is it is sort of the luonnon, let's see in English, it is Natural Resource Institute Finland. And they say that is a Natural Resource Institute Finland, Luke, is a research organization that builds on sustainable future and well-being from renewable natural resources. But look at this. This is their site, and when you search about permaculture, you find absolutely nothing, zero. And then there is maatalous- ja metsätalousministeri, which is in English something like Ministry of Agriculture and Forestry of Finland. There is one PowerPoint, some organic PowerPoint about organic food, some PowerPoint presentation that mentioned this permaculture. So of course there is some permaculture farmers in Finland, but I have not still have had any contact with these people, but I am gonna. There is like maybe a 10 places in Finland that is already doing some permaculture work. And basically we can see a little bit the first point in permaculture is that water is life. So without water you don't have life. So they did this, Bill Mollison and I forgot now what was his name, the other guy, but they did this, that they did this swales in Australia when they started this, to try out this, that how can they sort of copy natural systems to make them as so that the nature has all the right components so it can grow as fast and good and healthy as possible. So water is the key, and then when you sort of just make this kind of swales on a slow, if there is a slope this way, and then you can make another swale here, and then you plant trees behind that swale and berm, and you can then have very productive trees here, and then you can have some like the second concept of permaculture is that you don't need to transport a lot of stuff to the place where you are starting permaculture. The thing is that you plant different trees that have all break down in different ways, and different plants that break down in different ways. So you never take stuff that has been growing away from there. Instead you break it, you chop it and drop it, it is called. So all the organic matter that is all the time, every year growing there, also is getting back into the soil as energy for the soil to grow. So you grow the soil upwards year after year, and then suddenly you have a system that is working by itself. So nature takes care of herself, and we are supposed to be living with nature, and nature is supposed to provide for us. But now we have not been going this way. I can say, because no institutions are talking about this, and I think I am to be honest, I'm pretty baffled that. But on same time, I'm a little bit honored to bring this up, and because this is also something that I have noticed, that you don't need to shange your whole, like, you can start gardening even if you have full-time job and start to create some abundance. I have seen some of the best gardeners I have seen have been people that have full-time job also, and then they just walk around in their garden and they are eating some fruit from there and spitting out the seeds, and then just new plants start growing. So this thing that farming is supposed to be hard and very tiresome work is not true. It is false, and this is good for business, because if we are into this consumer mindset and only think about buying our solutions, that if there is some kind of new sticker, some certificate, that will save us. No, this is actually, if we start taking some responsibilities and start doing, our life will get just so much, have so much more value, and we can feel and see that we are actually making some real difference. This is not true if you are just a speaker and you just speaking and then you throw about this new kind of green deals and this new kind of green deals, what I have seen, like some kind of wind energy or wind farms or this and that is not gonna help us really. Like, it is only to take responsibilities and growing your green future, that you can actually do something. And it is not going to happen in a city, because cities are unnatural. So there is no Green Deal in a city. That is completely hypocritical, false thinking. So here we have another swale, just a better painting, but so we have this downhill, and then you can build this swale here, and you have sort of a little bit like a, every time when it rain, the rain will stay here and will not just go down. So then you can have a lot of trees and a lot of plants here, and then you can have like trees here and bushes, and then you can have something that wants a lot of water. There are plants that you can use that also, and then you can continue build another swale here. So yes, so permaculture is the conscious design and maintenance of agriculturally productive ecosystems which have the diversity, stability and resilience of natural ecosystems. And so they have, this is Bill Mollison. I have seen some of his lectures and they are very good. Sometime you can find them on YouTube, but they are deleting them, and I think that is very dumb, because this is knowledge that is very useful and could help a lot of people find meaning in their life and not just be this consumerism. So this book, A Designer's Manual, if you find this, read it, stop and read. It will blow your mind. So this is also one of the heroes. One of my heroes. He is also Australian permaculture guy, and he was a pupil of Bill Mollison. He was a student of Bill Mollison, and he has been doing some permaculture, a lot of permaculture stuff, of course, in Australia, but also in different part of the world. He's been doing some in Jordan, southern Jordan, where there is very desert, but they have been doing it very successfully. It is working. It has been shown, permaculture has been shown to work everywhere in the world. And they have been now building massive swale systems in India, and it actually, like, it has saved a lot of lives. But of course, I can see why this kind of system, when you have nature doing the work, of course you have to be there and pick the fruits and and do the harvesting bit, and also dry or make fermentation or wine, or what you want to do with the your harvest. But of course there is different ways. One if not the best is just to dry stuff. Then you have a very concentrated stuff of healthy, good food. I have been trying out that this year, and with lots of success. One of my favorite things to try is artichoke, and then it makes really like these good chips snacks. And a lot of course, I pick a lot of mushroom. I love mushroom, so I don't know how much I have actually tried this year, but I eat a lot of it also. So, and then I make it to powder. So I always put it on my food, whatever it is. So we could see this go in, but you can study this if you want to. But it is absolutely the best news out there, I think, permaculture. And we have never. The thing is that I understood why many people can be very skeptical to this, but we have never done this. So we have never. Maybe there have been some crazy Finns or Sami people that have understand this much about nature before, but now we starting to get it, that it's these systems that have a lot of different kind of mushrooms, mycelium that is going everywhere in the soil, and a lot of organic, a lot of organisms, a lot of life in the soil. So when you walk on the soil, you're just sinking. It feels like you're almost sinking in the soil. Then you know you have like a, because you can create soil, you can create systems that are so good that you can just plant anything there, like almost. Okay, some plants demand different kind of environments, but this is almost like some kind of universal teaching here, that this I don't know why it has taken place in our culture as that we believe that many cultures together is the thing, but actually it is many species together is the thing, and that will create good that will create very good immune system. Like that is your, because these all systems and bacteria living together will enhance each other, and this is the future, and then we can grow like these very old forests and have abundance of different kind of mushrooms and animals, and when we understand our place in ecological systems, then we are starting to understand the real value of things. So there was some more. What was this about? Oh yes, so we can see here this what they are recommending us to eat in Finland. So they are here also giving this so I read it somewhere here, but I cannot find it now. Okay. But yeah, they say that meat is the thing that is we have to reduce. So, but this is also like, you can see who this is. This is basically EU. This is not some kind of independent organization. This is basically an extension of WHO. So so yeah, again, we'll just show this to put some perspective here. Now, here we have Finland. Our greenhouse gas emissions are 0.04 gigaton in the world. So why are we shooting ourselves in the head here? And maybe we end on this, that the road to hell is paved with good intentions. Like thinking buying a new fridge because there is a sticker that's saying eco-friendly. And real eco-friendly culture is that one that fixes stuff, not that one that consumes and consumes. Thinking to buy your problems away is not a solution. Yes, maybe this was enough for today. There is something more here. Yes, well, we can take this news still. So there is still, so there is news that the ones who are producing meat, they have to pay some kind of meat or climate change tax, basically. So they are clearly working against the meat farmers here. It very sad to see. Very, 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 very sad to see. Yes, and Valio, who is also feeding cows with poison, they have this pilot project that are gonna sell some kind of artificial meat. So it will start in 2025, the same time as the climate change meat tax will start. And then, you can see that this company and this other what was it? They have getting a lot of sponsor money from somewhere. So absolutely crazy. Enifer, yeah, that was another company that they have 36 million funding. Absolutely crazy things, this. There is, I am not now saying that this is the single reason why we might have this, but this might be something to do with it also. But I think the main is here that there is some kind of this global big corporate agenda that every politician and all actor is buying into this shit. So they have some kind of new system which they want to some here is the UN. They are basically not saying, yeah, they say that it is for they say that it is for some kind of it has some kind of right tasa-arvo, is it no, but anyways we have a lot of these companies are with this, and let's see what this is. Why is it in Finnish? We want English. So so it is, they say, diversity, equity and inclusion are organizational frameworks which seek to promote the fair treatment and full participation of all people, particularly groups who have historically been underrepresented or subject to discrimination on the basis of identity or disability. What do even this mean? Historically, so what is this trying to do? I don't get what this. So, like, this is how I interpret it, but is that there is some kind of thinking that corporations or companies or any kind of organization, that there has been on purpose some kind of discrimination in all history, and now it's like some kind of payback time. So with discriminating some more, we get rid of discrimination. This is the same as to fight like a fighter back when somebody has punched you, then it will result in more fighting. So this is not a this is like a ideology that have like in the first meaning what it say it is, it has a very 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 bad flaw in the first meaning. But I have seen this has been going on for a lot of years. There was this code of conduct that sort of were some kind of issue, and it should be in a certain way in some kind of open source project and free software. When I do some kind of that reading and work, then some people that are not even like participating in any code, they write it in this way that everyone is supposed to be respected the same way, even if you are not so good in code or you haven't contributed in any ways, and still you shall get as much respect. Well, this is just a crazy thing. How are we supposed to acknowledge then that somebody masters something? How can we, if we are not respecting the ones who truly make the work, writing the code and growing our food, then we are on very wrong way. And nothing good can come from this. It will only spin itself off into oblivion. It is the same with this war that is going on. There could have been a solution already, peace solution, like years ago, but there is hate. There is hate in the air, and there is very 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 strong ideologies that sort of saying that they have some kind of monolithic truth to things, and that if you don't follow how they do things, you are evil. This is like the fundamentalistic of a good person is that you need to believe in the good, in the goodness of people, and even if we have different cultures, we should not blame each other. Just because someone has a different opinion about some stuff. So yes, this was maybe a side quest, but a little bit. It is not to blame anyone really. No politicians are to blame, or no particular people are to blame. We can only blame ourselves as a whole, as a society, but we have to see our own flaws and do the right thing, and we have to be able to see the good thing, the really good things, the real beauty of the world, which is nature, and how we are a part of this system. Whether we like it or not, we are a part of it. We are mostly microorganisms and mushrooms, and like we are not like this single being. We are many beings, invisible beings. They are everywhere, and life is all around, and life is good. Yes, and precious. Life is good and precious, and we need to really put like our visions to bring to bring us into a future that we really want for us. And I can somehow feel it, that people are in a desperate situation because they cannot get from this consumerism the essential stuff of life. They can only get to sort of peak, but then they are in this, that they need some more stuff to make us happy. And the thing is to search this in the beauty of understanding nature, I believe, and be a part of the natural systems. Like I have been composting my own shit, and where I have done this, I have planted trees, and those trees are growing like 3 times better, more faster than the trees I have planted elsewhere. So now I put a little compost also where I want to grow next trees, and so on. So if you live this way, you sort of do the right things all the time, then every small thing that you do actually have a big difference in the end, and then you actually start knowing some natural processes yourself when you are around that. Like the starting culture is food culture. First is food culture, and then the rest culture. Then we can make music and parties and so on when we have the food and the wine and the beer made. And then there is no better way to reduce on greenhouse gases than to have small scale farms here and there, and then you create this sort of self-abundance where there is a different cheese and a different beer and different meat and different products in every village you go to. Like this is like then you can have this culture. You go through this culture baths through the villages, and but first we need to create this abundance, and that comes from understanding nature and how we can nurture and help it strive, then we strive. And this has to come from normal people. Like this cannot be controlled in a group or organization, because as we see, this only lead to some kind of control freak mafia that then don't know anything about the real stuff, only want some paperwork, just driving from here, more transport and do actually nothing. Actually are just polluting. We don't need this. We need to trust in people. We need to trust in the good of humans. This is the only way. Common sense, common good. Over and out. Se on moro.